Invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk call the roll?
Councilmember Foley.
Here.
Councilmember Preston.
Here.
Vice Mayor Bashir.
Here.
Mayor Burnett.
Here. Very lengthy agenda. There's only one item on it tonight, selection of candidates for interviews. Very short agenda, but very important item. Council, you've received the list of candidates. Originally we had 90 names. There's 6 that have withdrawn. We're down to 84 names. Council, you've also seen the 11 name recommendation. The straw preference poll that was printed out, it's now down to 10 names. As candidate number 2, Jeff Bridges, has withdrawn. Those were the 10 recommended names. We do have a process tonight. I'm going to let Colin start and explain that process. I do insist, though, that before we get into our poll of trying to decide who our candidates are, I want to make sure that we are good with this list of 10. If there's anybody that you want to fight for, we'll do that. But hopefully we've done that work. But I mean, there's a lot of hard work left for us to do, because once we get our 5 names at the end of the night, I'm sure that each of us will be doing our homework as well as Colin before they come in next week for interviews. So Colin, why don't you set the tone for us, please, sir?
Okay, well, Colin Benziger Associates. And the way as the mayor said, we had about 90 candidates. We had a few drop out. We're down to about 10 right now. And the way we find is the quickest and easiest and frankly the best for the candidates is to start with a straw poll. And what happens then is there's generally 3 or 4 candidates that a majority of the council members want to see, that you want to interview. And so there's not a lot of point in talking about each one of those, although you may want to. You may want to explain to the public why you picked them. And there will be 3 or 4 that maybe nobody votes for. It's not because they're bad candidates, it's just that you see the others as a better fit for your community than the ones that you didn't vote for. Excuse me. The candidates you did select, you see as a better fit for your community than the candidates you did not vote for. In a different field, they might be the top candidates. But that way you are not talking about why you didn't select Sally or Fred or something. And of course, the reasons why you're not selecting somebody could be a newspaper article. So we find it's best just to stay on the positive, talk about the ones you want to select, and then you can do that by picking the 5 that you think are the best. We'll normally, as I said, get 4 or 5, 3 or 4 that everybody wants to see, and then it becomes kind of a question about who the others are that you might want to bring in. And at that point, there may be a council member that has a very strong preference for somebody that didn't get 3 votes and would like to make a case for them, or you may want to just take another vote.
Okay. What I would suggest, council, is what we do is Robin has a tally sheet. I also have one. As you do your preference sheet, you are not ranking. Just a reminder, you are not ranking 1 through 5. You are merely selecting 5 names.
So just check mark.
Check mark 5 names.
Perfect.
Robin will tally these up. Anybody that's got the support of 3 or more people, I think easily advances to our top 5. If we don't have a consensus of 5 people, I think at that point, we should have a discussion over who the next one or two people might be to add to that list, and at that point, we'll evaluate and we'll do the same process until we get a list of 5. What I don't want to have is a list of, okay, where we have 3 candidates where there's a lot of consensus, but the next 2, there's very little consensus, but we merely move on just because they had the highest vote totals at that point. We are so close in thought at that point. I want to make sure that we have the discussion and we really feel good about who those people are. So at this point in time, council, go ahead and check your 5 names. Robin will collect it. She'll read them out. I'll be tallying them as she's reading them out, and she will be as well. So we'll have double verification. So go ahead and do that right now, please.
Mayor, before we do that,
Okay.
well, I just wanted to ask Colin if he could just comment. So there was a deadline to submit the interest, and then that deadline was extended, and it looks like about half of the list that Colin has brought forth is from the extension, and I just wanted to see if he could comment on why that was done and what the purpose was behind that. Obviously, we increased the candidate pool significantly, but you can just give us some comment on that, Colin?
Sure, I'd be happy to. We extended it because we weren't satisfied with the number of great candidates that we got in the first round of advertising. We had about half a dozen that we liked strongly, but we wanted more. I tend to be greedy. I want you to have 10 great candidates to choose from, or 12, rather than just half a dozen. And of course, if people had dropped out from that first 6 or 7, we might have been down to 3 or 4. And so we extended it just to get a bigger pool. And it's interesting. I'm never quite sure why, but sometimes when you put that advertisement and back out and you talk to some more people, or maybe some of the people you talked to the first time, but they didn't apply, a number of them do.
And council, before, because I know everybody's starting to do some tallies right now, I'll let Colin finish that, but was there anybody that wasn't on this list that you felt was a top 5 candidate that needs to be on this list for us to consider? If not, then let's go ahead and continue with your selections. And Colin, sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to get that out there.
No, perfectly all right. I was pretty much done anyway. I mean, the bottom line is that we put it back out because we wanted to make sure we had a really strong pool. So we did, and we did.
Okay. Everybody make their selections?
Just a second. I gotta check one more.
Drew, you got a lot of notes there, man.
I made notes on every single applicant.
Good for you.
Yes, ready? You'll sign it? Anything on it? Make sure you sign the bottom, please.
Thanks for correcting the spelling of my name on that one.
Welcome. I made it.
Oh, okay.
Somebody did.
The one last week didn't have
All right, so I'm gonna do this on the screen so I can kind of lag up.
it. All right.
Live action.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're gonna be a camera like directly
Alright.
overhead?
So I'll do it how to vote.
Look at this technology.
All right, so first ballot is Councilmember Foley.
Oh, this is so cool. Live.
Robin, you gonna read those out as well?
Are you
Okay.
checking these or you're reading these?
We'll let her check them and then she can read them.
All right, so Councilmember Foley voted for Mike Bornstein. That's just top 5, no, it's all random. Wayne Clark, Robin Hayes, Alan Hours, and Brian Weiss.
Oh, okay.
Okay? All right, second one is Councilmember Tremont, Mike Bornstein, Wayne Clark, Robin Hayes, and Brian Weiss. So that's only 4. Did you wanna, you're good with that?
No, I was happy with that 4, and I would leave myself open to be a swing vote for number 5.
Can't do it, you voted. We've all got to vote at the same time.
I'm saying if we get in a situation
Okay.
where we're talking about
I got you.
Yeah,
narrowing
okay.
it down.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
All right. This one is Councilmember Stiltner, Wayne Clark, Robin Hayes, Alan Hours, Len Sosman, and Brian Weiss.
Oh,
And I'm so sorry if I butchered names.
it's okay.
All right. Vice Mayor Bastian. We've got Mike Bornstein, Wayne Clark, Robin Hayes, Alan Hours, and Brian Weiss. And Mayor Burnett, we've got Mike Bornstein, Wayne Clark, Carmen Davis, Robin Hayes, and Len Sosman. Everybody, no objections to the,
451 530 24. And that's what I have. So we do have 5 candidates that got the support of at least 3 people, being Mike Bornstein, Wayne Clark, Robin Hayes, Alan Hours, and Brian Weiss. Those are all 5 names got the support of at least 3 council people. There were 2 other names that appeared. One of them had 1 vote, Carmen Davis. That was me. And Len Sossman had 2 votes. So council, based on what we discussed and how we wanted to do that, we wanted to bring in 5 names, and all of them, those 5 names had the support of at least 3 of us. Are you guys happy with that list?
I
Can
am.
work with that.
Okay. At this point, I would accept a motion from council to request that the city manager make the proper arrangements to have these people available for interview next week. The names being Mike Bornstein, Wayne Clark, Robin Hayes, Alan Hours, and Brian Weiss.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, anyone here care to speak to the item?
Mayor, if I could,
There being none, okay.
I wondered if
Colin.
you would want to have an alternate, just in case somebody drops out. I
Um,
would suggest it, but that's your call.
Can we put that list back up?
yeah, if you don't mind, go ahead and put that. Honestly, number 6 and 7 were so far off the pace, and I'm fine if we. My personal opinion, council, you tell me if we're wrong. I think the pool is deep enough. If we're to lose a name, the other 4 are sufficiently strong. But I think that's up to you guys.
I feel good we could find a city manager out of that group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
No need for an alternate then. Okay.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Call the roll.
Councilmember Foley,
Yes.
Councilmember Tremont,
Yes.
Councilmember Stiltner.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bastian,
Yes.
Mayor Burnett.
Yes, 5-0. I look forward to next Thursday evening, getting to know everybody. We will have an event. We will publicize that. Jim, did you want to speak?
What time is that gonna be, Thursday night next week?
5:30 or 6?
6 to 8, isn't it?
6:30.
And then, of course, Friday we'll have the all-day interviews in the morning, individually with us, and then collectively in the afternoon as a council. So 6 o'clock, you said? Okay. So,
Just to clarify, next Thursday, 6:30, there's a getting to know meeting of the candidates that's open to the public?
yes,
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Yep.
6 o'clock.
Anything else come before us this evening? Well, that was I tell you what, this is one of those council meetings where I put a whole lot more prep into the amount of time we took to make the decision. So I am pleased that the 5 of us all seem to have done our homework, and we will get together next week, and we're going to have ourselves a city manager at the end of the day. Colin, thank you very much. And if nothing else comes before us this evening, have a good night.